Welcome to Maths for All. I'm Aisling Flynn. This is Integers 1.4, Order of Operations. So does order matter in maths? Here's a problem, and I'm asking you to evaluate it. Work out the numbers, carry out the operations. Operations are adding, multiplying, or subtracting or dividing numbers. And find a single number that is the outcome. What answer do you get? I want you to take a pen and paper, pause the video, and work it out. Did you get 18 or 11 perhaps, 10, maybe 24, 30, or none of the above, a different answer? And when I do this with a class, typically we get lots of different answers. Okay, but which one is the right one? So in maths, there must be one correct answer. And it is, in this case, 24. So does order matter? Yes, it does matter. Okay, so what should we do first in this sum? We see adding, multiplying, taking away, and dividing. What do we do to get 24? So here I've highlighted multiplying and dividing. These are of equal importance. We can do them at the same time, and they come before adding and subtracting. Okay, so on the next line, we're going to put the result of those operations instead of them. So we get 2 plus 3/8 are 4, or 24. Take away 4 divided by 2 is 2. Then if we put our positive numbers together, we get 26, take 2, and we get the answer 24. So here's a graphic to describe which operations you should do with numbers first. We call it BIMDAS. In some textbooks, it's called BOMDAS or BEMDAS, but essentially they're the same thing. So at the top of the triangle is the operation you should do first. So B is for brackets. You see the brackets there in red. If you have brackets in your problem, you should sort out what's inside the brackets first and get an outcome for the bracket. Next comes I for indices. Indices are also called powers or exponents, and included in that we can get roots or square roots. We'll study these in more detail later in the course. We'll have a few short examples later on. And following that, we have M and D, multiplication and division. You see they're on the same level. They are the reverse of each other, and so they are of equal importance. And when you find them together in a problem, you just work from left to right. And finally, the last operations you should carry out are addition and subtraction. Again, you can work from left to right. These are of equal standing. So let's put this to practice. Evaluate is the instruction word here. It means to find the value of, or to carry out the operations and find the outcome or the final result. So we should expect a single number answer. So here's my problem. And looking to our triangle, you see that we do have some brackets. Okay, so our first thing we should do is to identify that, and we should resolve the bracket until we have just one number for it. Okay, so working down the page, 10 plus 4 can be replaced by 14. Okay, now we look at the problem again. We look at our triangle. We have a division and an add. So BIMDAS tells us division should come next. So let's do division. 14 divided by 7 is 2. And we have 2 plus 5. And then that's addition. We can do that easily. The result is 7. So we've come to the end of that using BIMDAS. Another example. Okay, so we've lots of operations here. We look to our triangle. do we have any brackets? Yes, we do. So let's address that first. And we'll get an outcome for that bracket. 3 plus 2 is 5. Okay. And we'll look again. This time, yes, we do have some indices. We have 3 to the power of 2, which is sometimes called 3 squared. Okay, there it is. And what does that mean? 3 to the power of 2 means you use the number 3 2 times and you multiply it. So multiplying it by itself, we get 9 for that part. Okay, so we've done our indices. Now look again. We've got multiply, subtract, and divide. So we're on the multiply, divide level. Okay, and we'll work from left to right. We'll multiply next. So 9 times 2 is 18. So 18 minus 20 divided by 5. Division comes next. So we'll get 18 minus 4, because 20 divided by 5 is 4. And then finally we have subtraction. So the answer there is 14. So step by step, using your BIMDAS. Now, getting a little bit harder again. Look to your triangle, we have brackets. Okay, so we work inside the brackets first. Now, within this bracket, you'll see that we have a couple of operations, and we have to decide what to do first. So, I for indices comes before M for multiply. Okay, so that's what we'll do first. And 2 to the power of 3 means you take the number 2 3 times and you multiply it by itself. So 2 2s are 4 times 2 is 8 for that part. So we replace that with 8. We still have brackets, so we must still work with the bracket. And inside the bracket, multiply is of the highest importance. So we'll do that next. 5 2s are 10. And then still working with the brackets, 10 plus 8 is 18. Okay, so now our brackets are finished. Remaining is a division and a subtraction. Division comes first. 8 divided by 6, or 18 divided by 6 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay, so do you get the idea? Use your BIMDAS, work in order. You can take lots of lines, as many as you like, to work it out. Now, what have we got? All right, so this one is, we have operations on top divided by operations on the bottom. So that big long line there, okay, this means divide, on the top divided by the bottom. It also separates the top in a group, just like brackets would, and the bottom. So we work on the top level separately to the bottom level, and when we have those worked out, we can divide. Okay, so bear with me, we'll go through the steps and hopefully you'll see. Okay, so working on the top line, we have a bracket. Okay, so we'll sort that out first. So I'm going to put the result of that over to the side here. So I have 5 to the power of 2 times 3 minus 15. Let's work through this. So next we have I for indices. So 5 to the power of 2 is 25. 5 to the power of 2 is 5 times 5. Next we'll do our multiply. So 25 times 3 is 75. Subtract 15 gives me 60. So 60 is the result of the top line. And now we'll sort out the bottom line. So again, we have a bracket. We'll work with that. And inside that bracket, we have an index, or index is one of them. So 4 to the power of 2 means 4 times 4. So we get 16. 16 plus 4 is in the bracket. We'll work that out first. It's 20. And now we'll do division. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So a lot of paperwork, that's okay. And now what will we do with those numbers? 60 on the top and 10 on the bottom. Okay, so there, that's what we ended up with. Of course, that means division. 60 divided by 10, the answer is 6. Now, it's time for you to give that a go. We'll have a quiz to check your understanding and practice what you've learned by doing the written exercises. Here's your glossary for this lesson. You can pause to screenshot or take note. Thanks for listening.